Good morning, everyone. We'll be getting underway shortly. We'll just wait a couple of minutes for everybody to join. We've just opened up the webinar room.
What do you think, Tony? Should we go ahead?
Yeah, absolutely.
All righty. Well, welcome everybody to the monthly Thursday call from Tradewinds, a Teleris Group company for July 15th, 2021. Thank you for taking time to join us this morning. I'm Doug Miller, your host for these calls, and this monthly event is an opportunity for you, our partners, to better get to know Tradewinds, our management and team members, and to learn about our amazing systems, tools, and resources, all designed to help you be successful. You'll also get to know each other through our sales recognition and awards, and both our live and virtual events, and we've got a lot of them coming up. On last month's call, Tony Heywood introduced us to a very special local organization doing wonderful work to help empower young people to take control of their lives, turning disadvantages into advantages and enabling them to reach their full potential. Tony's presentation and interview with Youth in Search is one you really need to see. And last month's featured presentation was from Tradewinds supplier Threat Protector, providing your clients the protection, the visibility, and the products for their biggest cybersecurity challenges. You know, businesses are breached about every 10 seconds. It is time to stop responding to threats and instead prevent them. This special conversation with Threat Protector will show you how. Last month's Tradewinds call with all of that and more is recorded. It's available for review anytime. We hope you'll check it out. On today's call, we have President's Club qualification news, an update on this summer's Partner Summit event, details on upcoming local events and partner sales recognition, and some news about very special SPIF opportunities as well. Our featured presentation today will be from China Telecom Americas, the largest subsidiary of China Telecom Corporation, one of the world's leading providers of integrated communications and IT services to enterprises in more than 110 countries around the globe. We'll be joined by telecom and channel veteran Steve Jacknow and get to know China Telecom Americas coming up in minutes on today's monthly Tradewinds Thursday call. We invite you to join the video stream of today's event in order to see all of today's valuable information and to submit your questions and comments through our chat window for today's live presenters. You can enter those anytime during the presentation. We'll get to as many as time allows live and answer any others privately after today's call. Well, first up, every sale closed in 2021 helps qualify you for our Tradewinds President's Club, which is going to be held next year in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. The dates on that trip are from March 5th through 8th, 2022. Put those dates on the calendar and pick out your luggage because I have a feeling many of you will be joining us in Puerto Vallarta. All you have to do is sell a total of $100,000 in new MRR across any combination of our Tradewinds suppliers. And for the first time ever, parent company Teleris is sending its top 10 producing partners worldwide on a separate, luxurious, exclusive 7-day trip. There's no reason that you can't be part of both awards. Qualification is underway. You can begin or continue qualifying today, and we hope to see you at our 2021 President's Club. Well, let's talk a little bit about Partner Summit, the industry's biggest upcoming live event. It's our 10th anniversary with this year's theme of Survive, Overcome, and Thrive. Now, we are so disappointed that COVID isn't allowing our Australia and New Zealand partners to attend in person this year, but we'll do our best to share the content with you from this remarkable event. We've got 16 educational sessions planned this year, including the expected deep dive CCAS, UCAS, similar training on existing and emerging technologies. But there are also many unexpected sessions, such as how to successfully hire for your firm. We'll discuss business investment strategies, legal issues, personal development, and even cryptocurrency, one of the most exciting current conversations going on, along with many more educational opportunities as well. Now, this year's theme of Survive, Overcome, and Thrive will be represented by our keynote speakers. Opening speaker Mallory Wegman, who suffered paralysis in 2008, now shares her journey in learning why this would happen and the trip she undertook to become a Paralympic gold medalist, world champion swimmer, ESPY winner, author, and network sports commentator. Our closing keynote speaker, John O'Leary, burned on 100% of his body as a child and given less than a 1% chance of survival. Yet today, John teaches others how to live inspired lives, waking up from accidental living and instead living a life on fire. Backed by popular demand, you'll catch the masterclass on leveraging social media for social selling from our own LinkedIn gurus, Patrick Oborn and Sarah Pina. And of course, we have the big technology reveal coming up. You will be among the first to see Telarus's next batch of new technology, which you can use to help build your business. This will be an amazing event, and we will make sure the information is available to you. We're recording much of it, and you'll see some of that coming up following the summit. We look forward to welcoming all of you next year to our event. We'll be having our 11th anniversary of the Partner Summit next summer. We'll get those details to you shortly after the conclusion of this year's event. Now, in the near term, here are some additional events coming up that you can take advantage of now. Coming up next Wednesday, July 21st, 10 a.m. AEST, Avaya is kicking off their Avaya Cloud Office Sales Fast Track series. Now, this is a three-part series of powerful one-hour courses covering cloud fundamentals, Avaya Cloud Office functionality, and positioning yourself for success. Now, the first one-hour session happens next Wednesday, the 21st. It will cover cloud fundamentals, focusing on business transformation. They'll deconstruct what makes cloud different, discuss the benefits of SaaS-based business models, the financial opportunities, and more. This session will set the stage for success with Avaya Cloud Office. We hope you'll plan to join and reap the benefits. Thanks, Avaya, for this tremendous educational opportunity. And next Thursday, July 22nd, plan to join RingCentral for a special sales training on how and when to pitch RingCentral to customers with MS Teams. You'll win more deals with RingCentral by understanding where RingCentral complements a client's current team environment, and when RingCentral can be positioned to compete with MS Teams within organizations. This special RingCentral training happens next Thursday, July 22nd. We also want you to save the date of August 11th, 10 a.m. AEST, for a special Tradewinds UCAS training event. More details to follow on this one, but it will make a big difference in your ability to find and close those unified communications as a service opportunities. And our next Tradewinds Thursday call right back here happens August 19th. We hope you'll plan to join us. You can find the details on these and many other upcoming Tradewinds events just by reaching out to us anytime. We'll make sure you have all of the info. A quick reminder that our chat window is available if you have questions or comments for today's presenters, including our very own Tradewinds Regional Vice President, Tony Heywood, here first with some exciting partner recognition, and then with a big organizational announcement and interview. Tony, welcome back to the Tradewinds call. How you doing, my friend?
I'm always well, but you know that I'm always going to say that whenever you ask that question. So thank you, Doug. You've the golden lips of the airways. It's a delight to have you on the call. You actually do look like a sports commentator this morning with that headset. It's the first time.
Do my best. I have a lot of fun with this. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure always. And it's always a pleasure for me to be able to recognize a partner for some great work that they've done. And this month, I just wanted to highlight a particular sale, the sale of the month. If we can have the next slide, please, Ali. Where are we? Hang on, I've lost it. There we go. Sale of the month The supplier was Network Solutions Group, which many of you know. Network Solutions Group is a carrier aggregator, and they can provide an extremely competitive quotation for network, whether it be fixed network, a managed network, or even just internet access and IP transit. And they'll often beat the big four telcos at their own game because they buy it wholesale and they've built their own nodes in their network in Auckland, Melbourne, Sydney, Canberra, Adelaide, Perth, and even now in Singapore. So they're really establishing themselves as a regional player for APAC, should any of your customers need any form of network connectivity. And Sam Baillieu, the founder of Baillieu Consulting, Sam was our first partner that joined the Tradewinds family. And he has been working on a large professional services client for a number of years at C-level. It's an association client in the professional services field. And not only did Sam sell them a UCAS offering 2 years ago, as well as then position a complete network review, but in doing so, he actually beat out one of the largest global systems integration companies, Tech Mahindra, at their own game. They were the incumbent. And because of the power of the Tradewinds master agent model working directly with suppliers, and in this case, that was RingCentral for the UCAS deal, but Network Solutions Group enabled Sam to do a complete network review and replace much of the Cisco equipment in the network. But then to top that all off last month, they then took the network away from Tech Mahindra because Tech Mahindra was objecting so much to the network review that they ended up saying, well, if you don't like the way that we've reviewed the network, you probably won't want to manage it then, will you? And this one-man band has now successfully helped Network Solutions Group win a deal that is in the tens of thousands of dollars a month. So Sam Baillieu, big congratulations to you, mate, and big congratulations to the Network Solutions Group team as well. And now, from an organizational point of view, it's always really exciting when you see a business go through that entrepreneurial and startup phase to now starting to consolidate. And with that, I'd like to welcome Partner Development Manager, Sam Gregg. So Sam has come to us from a completely different industry. And Sam, I just thought, let's introduce you to the partners, and maybe I'll ask you a few questions and in this completely staged interview. So Sam, tell us a little bit about yourself and what attracted you to, I guess, apply for the Tradewinds opportunity when we posted it.
Yeah, well, number one, good morning, everyone. I've spent the last almost 6, close to 7 years in the sales industry, in the customer service industry. I've always felt that my strong suit when I was operating in those industries were my relationships with my client, making sure that they receive the service they deserve, making sure I go above and beyond. And when I was looking to make my next move, I saw the job ad for Tradewinds, and the title in the job ad was Relationship Manager / Partner Development Manager. And when I saw that, I was like, that's me. That's exactly what I should be doing. And then once I had the quick phone call with Tony, after figuring out it wasn't the Tradewinds Hotel in Sydney, it was a company under Tellerus. Then I knew that it was good. Tony and I got along straight away, meeting Francis and a bunch of other people from the American side of things as well before I decided to pull the trigger. Was fantastic. And yeah, it's one of the best decisions I've made in my professional life.
Well, I'm believing that what you've just said is absolutely 100% true, but you've been in the door now about 3 weeks, and you've met a few partners, and you've certainly spent some time with Francis and myself and Ali and others on the Tradewinds and Telarus team. So what are your first impressions of the business and what we're doing in the market?
It's really impressive, if I'm being honest.
Well, hopefully you are being honest.
I am being honest. Years ago, I was part of an IT recruitment company. So I'd watched what the the field was doing, what the landscape was like. And it seemed to be very dog eat dog, every supplier trying to undercut the next supplier just to get their technology in the door. Where coming into Tradewinds and talking to our partners and learning how the model works, it's literally all about helping. It's helping our partners grow their business. It's helping our suppliers get more coverage, making sure that in the long run, the end user has the right product for them and there's no bias, because our partners are able to choose from any technology that we have in our portfolio without feeling like they're going behind anyone's back. So it's truly impressive, and for me, it just shows that everyone just wants to help. It's not a cutthroat business model, which is something that I'm really excited to be a part of.
Great. And so with our partners being our number one focus, what do you see as the opportunity for partners to grow their business with Tradewinds?
I think it simply just comes down to, it's no longer that sales-minded business model. And with that, they're able to step outside of their usual comfort zone, refer end users to our suppliers, and know that they are in safe and capable hands, and know that in the long run, it's going to help them out, instead of thinking that, oh, look, I only specialize in cybersecurity, I can't possibly step out to the UCAS space. They're now able to ask all the questions possible of their clients to see where the problems in the business are, and provide holistic and full solutions to them, and not feel like they're not doing the right thing. So I think that's really going to help any business that partners with Tradewinds to grow, simply because the options are endless. They're going to be able to look after everyone that they come across.
Yeah. Okay. So just for the benefit of everyone on the call, I just want to let you know that Sam and I came up with these questions, but I didn't have to really even review the answers that Sam has given. It was really such a delight to have someone on the team that has picked up the value proposition of Tradewinds so quickly as you, Sam. So I really want to thank you for coming on board, and I really encourage all of our partners to engage with Sam. He's on all of the documentation. You can contact him at sgreig, SGREIG, at tradewindsbrokerage.com.au. We'll put that in the chat window for you, and feel free to engage Sam directly. Doug?
Thank you, Tony. Boy, it's a big day for Sam's here on the call. Congratulations, Sam Bayou, on the sale of the month. And to Sam Grigg, so happy to have you join us. You're going to do amazing things for our partners internationally. Thrilled to have you on the Tradewinds team.
Thank you, Doug.
Well, we want to let you know that several of our Tradewinds suppliers are offering some fantastic spiff opportunities. It's like I always say, if you're going to sell it, if there's a big spiff, that can sometimes make a difference. We want to make sure that you get those. And our suppliers are offering some very generous spiffs in this third quarter. First up on today's list, Dialpad has tremendous spiffs available on their powerful UCAS and CCAS solutions. Now, this is only valid through July 31st, so you have to hurry. But the UCAS offerings, including Dialpad Talk, Dialpad Uber Conference, Dialpad Self, selling any of these will earn you a 4x MRR spiff on all annual deals with a minimum 2-year contract, or earn a 6x spiff on an annual prepaid deal with a minimum of 3-year agreement. Dialpad's contact center solutions offer spiffs of 4x MRR on all annual deals with a minimum 1-year agreement, or 7x on all annual prepaid deals with a minimum 3-year agreement. That's a mouthful, but here it is, 7x available on those contact center solutions. These are phenomenal payout opportunities. It's available through July 31st from Dialpad. If you've got an opportunity, let us know now. Let's get that in there for you. Next up, Ring Central is offering more MRR spiffs for their MVPs, their most valuable partners, and that's each and every one of you. Partners can earn spiffs of 4x MRR on qualifying Ring Central MVP deals with a minimum 2-year agreement. This offer is available on sales to new Ring Central customers, and it's through the end of the year, December 31st. Finally, a spectacular offer you can't pass up. The team at LogMeIn is offering increased spiffs for sales of their Go-To Connect through December 31st. A single-year agreement will earn a spiff of 5x MRR, 1-year agreement, Or there's a 6X available on a 2-year term. And here's the big one, 7X MRR spiffs on 3-year agreements. We are talking about major money for our partners. GoToConnect is the only solution needed for fully integrated business communications, now including video conferencing, 7X spiffs from LogMeIn. Be sure to ask Tony and Francis about these and any other available spiffs on your next Tradewinds opportunity. And you can see them all by logging into tradewindsbrokerage.com.au/partners. We'll put that in the chat window as well. Well, today's featured Thursday Call presentation is from China Telecom Americas, the largest subsidiary of China Telecom Corporation, one of the world's leading provider of integrated communications and IT services to enterprises in more than 110 countries around the globe. Since 2001, China Telecom Americas has been bringing people, businesses, and continents closer together through technology. And today we'll learn why customers choose China Telecom Americas to keep them at the forefront of the digital era in China and beyond. Steve Jacknow is Deputy Director of Channel Business Development at China Telecom Americas, and he joins us now to introduce us to this tremendous solution resource for Tradewinds partners. Steve, you've been in this business a long time. Welcome back. Good to see you here. Welcome to our Tradewinds Thursday Call.
It's great to be here. Really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you folks and to learn more about Tradewinds and also to impart some information about China Telecom.
I think it's new to a lot of people, and yet there are so many opportunities where partners could introduce their clients to the solutions and resources that you have. Please give us the introduction and an overview of what you have. Then let's dive into some detail on how partners can benefit from all of this. Glad to have you here.
Sure, great. Yeah, so basically what I'm going to do today is give you a little introduction about China Telecom Americas, who we are, what our partner program is about, some of our resources and capabilities, and how it might impact some of our partners with Tradewinds and how they can leverage some of our solutions and expertise. And one thing I noted is that, you know, in this kind of turbulent times in the business environment, political environment, there still is quite an important relationship for doing business in China and in APAC in the areas that we do specialize in to help bring solutions to our customers. And, you know, one thing I found out about is that even now, even with certain policies in place, the actual growth in trade with Australia, between China and Australia, where Australia is exporting even more than they did before. In fact, in May, there was a 15% growth in overall record exports from Australia to China. So the business market exists in so many different ways. So we're going to explore that a little bit here today. And hopefully this is just going to be an introduction for many more conversations that we can have together. So this is a little bit about me. I guess I could talk a little about myself. I've been at China Telecom now for about 5 years. Since beginning of 2019, I've been in the channel business development team leading that. We organized our team uniquely to be able to provide support for our channel. Previously, it had been kind of moved around to different areas, so I'm really glad they gave it a focus, and I was happy to do that. Most of my experience has been in managing solution engineering and architecture, but that also includes a long time working in that arena for channel purposes and for channel teams at level 3, TW Telecom, and prior to that, I worked at Cisco Systems. So glad to be here, and I've seen the industry in a lot of different angles from my experience throughout the years, and glad to be able to impart that whenever I can to talk to partners and help them be able to engage with customers. So let's talk a little bit about China Telecom. So first of all, as you can see, we are a worldwide organization. We have different subsidiaries and affiliates in different parts of the world: Europe, Africa, Middle East, the Asia Pacific, and of course the Americas, of which I represent. The channel partner program is uniquely tied into the Americas, so that gives us an opportunity to actually work on accounts all over the world and work with partners all over the world, which we have started to do more of. And yes, we are in Australia. We do have a presence there since 2011, and we are in both Perth and Sydney with resources and POPs and data centers. So one of the things that I like to note is some of the awards and recognition that we as a company have received. And we're proud to receive those. We feel like we do a good job managing the telecommunications environment for our customers and for our partners. One of the most critical ones, I think, is the Gartner award there, and that we've got multiple years in a row. Very well respected organization that a lot of customers take into account when they make decisions on who to move forward with. And we have been able to provide a critical capability network service in the Asia Pacific area, according to Gartner, and have won that award multiple years. So very proud that we've been able to do that. So one of the reasons we do win the awards is that we have a lot of experience with a lot of different technology providers through our alliances, through these different hardware and software vendors. And you can see many popular names on there. We specialize in certain product sets with, for example, SD-WAN with Versa and with Cisco. However, we do quite a bit in security with Fortinet. So there is a lot that we can do to help you engage in areas of technology that maybe you as a partner are not as educated on. We can bring in the experts from within our deep organization and talent. Thank you. Next slide. So why would you want to partner with China Telecom Americas? So first of all, the aspect of getting commissions. You certainly heard about the opportunity to earn spiffs with some others. Well, we make sure that you get paid for the life of the account. So the Evergreen program is very significant in our eyes. And that's the way that I run our program, to make sure that we are going to make sure to pay you on all services that we develop with your customer, whether you're actively engaged on that opportunity or not, as long as you are the one to refer it to us in the first place. So we continue the Evergreen program and protect that for you. We also have market development funds and training resources, so we can help train you on some of our solutions and also some areas of technology and some areas of doing business in parts of the world that maybe you're not familiar with. We pride ourselves on being able to deliver our product portfolio within 45 days on average. And a lot of times it's going to be way faster, particularly in China, than any other provider that you can get. And of course, that means you get paid quicker. We do provide services through our US-based channel team. And actually, I've got one of my employees here, Dennis Calderwood, is on the call today. And he's going to be your main point of focus. I'll show his name in a minute, but we do have operations and engineering talent that have seen almost every solution that an enterprise customer requires for doing business in and out of China and in APAC. So we can leverage all of that talent. One thing about our integration model, where we do rely on these different personnel throughout our offices and not solely on the channel team, is that we are paying both sides 100%. So there's really no conflict. Everybody gets paid to provide that solution and to win that sale with that partner. So there's full support all throughout that, and no one's trying to take anything away from a partner because of direct sales conflict. And I know that's very important to our partners going forward. So really, the full service quote assistance on the deal means that once your deal has been registered, we focus on winning that business with you. And basically, we make sure that either other direct sales or other partners are precluded from working on it at that point. So again, Dennis Calderwood, part of the team there, and there's his contact information. But mainly, if you have a request or you want to just find out a capability that we might have, go ahead and send an email to channelteam@ctamericas.com, and we'll answer that right away. And in fact, when we have inquiries from our partners, our goal is to provide a service level of answering that inquiry within 1 day, meaning we will get that established as far as whether we can help you with that or not, whether we can get that assigned to a particular group to work on, and then get that ball started. So we really are pushing to make sure that we have very effective communication service levels. So why would you want to sell China Telecom and work with China Telecom Americas? And it's really about the value that we bring. We carry a number of different worldwide backbones, but the most significant is going to be the CN2, or China Net Next Generation. That is the network that exists worldwide within China and outside China to be able to leverage our private MPLS services, but also more enterprise premium level internet access, where you may have heard horrible stories about the quality of internet from within China getting outside of China due to the international gateway or other factors. Well, with working with CN2 provides a much more consistent and high performance type of connectivity. We are a reliable provider. We're the incumbent in the vast majority of China as the LEC and have access to all of the in-country resources. And around the world, we can be mostly a one-stop shop for you in regards to your voice, video, data, and security needs. We'll make sure that we provide comprehensive solutions for both APAC and China and try to give as much financial flexibility in these solutions as possible. Like I mentioned, the leading products that we offer that we can provide expert care on. And one of the factors that we may be a little different than other providers is that we do pay on equipment sales. So if the customer doesn't know where to go to get equipment or has trouble, particularly trying to find a way to deliver their equipment within China or needs additional care and service on that equipment, we will pay on that equipment, even if it comes across as an NRC. And in addition, one of the more significant values is the amount of 100+ carrier relationships that we've developed around the world to reach other networks that the customer may be using, or in areas where we need to be able to reach the last mile to get to the customer enterprise. So those are some of China Telecom's value overall. And the next slide give you a map view of this. We can see some of the different POPs in our 33 countries, over 350+ mainland China nodes, including over 450 data centers that we offer in China. The capacity is huge, 12 terabytes of China capacity. And we actually have a significant investment in submarine and terrestrial fiber optic cables, over 48 different systems, and 42 terabytes of capacity going international related to China and APAC. So it's quite an extensive network with a significant amount of POPs all around the world to service our customers. So I put a couple URLs up there that you can click on if we can distribute this particular presentation out to everybody. And that'll give you a place to look for all the different data centers that we have across the world, as well as show the exact cable paths that we have for worldwide cable and infrastructure. So some really useful resources there for you. And another factor that I didn't mention on that last slide, but was the 29 cloud and network function virtualization POPs. So that supports our SD-WAN environment, and it really gives us an ability for SD-WAN to not make it a kind of best effort type of SD-WAN. We actually, within the environment between these cloud nodes, we can offer a very high level SLA that guarantees availability between these locations across the world. So that's one of the services and bandwidth that we offer for SD-WAN. As you can see, there's many more products and services in the portfolio. Of course, with my 10 minutes that I've got here and only a couple minutes left, we really can't get into every single one. But certainly we're strong in the bandwidth areas, being able to do Ethernet private lines internationally, SD-WAN as a managed service for your customer, global transit, different peering options and dedicated internet, even anti-DDoS type of capabilities, particularly in China, where there have been a high degree of DDoS attacks. So we also do managed services. I mentioned being able to do the equipment functions and be able to support those. But we can add on services on top of that equipment and add personnel and managed hands that you might need to be able to support that environment. So we're ready to offer any one of these different products and services to make sure that we can fit the need for your customer and come up with a solution that works. So what are some of the key takeaways in my messaging here? So what would a partner be looking for in terms of a customer? And really, number one and first and foremost is, does that customer have any business in China? And of course, there are many ways to have business in China across multiple verticals, like biotech and healthcare and financial services and manufacturing, logistics and retail. Of course, all of those have a great impact within the China environment for customers. So it's really that does that particular customer you're working with have a relationship that they need to expand to their consumers, their partners, suppliers, distributors? We can help with that because we've done solutions for companies that relate to all those different aspects. Does the company have multiple continent locations? Well, then they would want somebody who can actually be a one-stop shop, whether they're going to be regionalizing the area of APAC and China into a network solution there and then joining it to the rest of the world, or whether they want to go worldwide with one provider. We also offer contracts, global MSAs, and account support for both US and international companies. And we do that with our multilingual staff. We have access to both local resources that I've talked about, but also we have project teams waiting to help us out with the China aspect of it as well. So we have resources that we can bring to bear. We run a dual NOC in Los Angeles and Hong Kong, so they crosses time zones and 7x24. And one of the things that I emphasize is the delivery interval for the 45 days. It's interesting, how do you make sure that happens? Well, what we do is we actually provide incentives to our employees and the project management teams on both the quality and the quantity associated to getting projects done. So it's very important that they meet their intervals, and they're pushing every day to make sure that that happens with their dedicated local project management teams. But the real key here for what type of customer might want to work with us and where the partner would want to come to us is, who has all that knowledge on China rules and practices? We've all heard about the international gateway or the Great Firewall of China, but certainly there are other aspects that are of concern about business licensing, registering for providing internet content in the web. Solutions that require BGP can often take 3 months and be much more expensive than you're used to. So there are many different factors that come into play when trying to do networks and solutions in China to fulfill the applications for your customer. And really, it's about that application. It's about, what does the customer try to do? What are the destinations of that traffic? What are they trying to support in their business with that application? Is it a point of sale solution? Is it a real-time transactional data? Is it centralized data storage? CRMs? We dive into what the customer is doing and how they want to try to get it done and match that up to the performance they would need with the networks and solutions that we have. We don't want any misses there, because that's how we stage our reputation over time, is providing that tried and true application that works for that customer, particularly in that very sensitive environment of getting in and out of China and abiding to the rules and regulations, yet delivering a high performance network while doing that. So that's my introduction for today. I'm really glad to be here and excited to work with you all in the future.
Steve, tremendous presentation. This has been something I've been looking forward to for a while. The idea, I think, of doing business either with or in China or with companies that are doing business there, I think is on most partners' minds at some point. So many businesses and so many clients have those relationships. And to make this a little bit more understandable for everyone in terms of, how do I begin to approach an opportunity that may involve these types of connections? And then further, as you hinted, I mean, take a look at that map again and see the amount of coverage that China Telecom offers around the world. I mean, there are so many ways to benefit from that connectivity and those offerings, both, as we said earlier, in China and beyond. So thank you for helping us understand that. I don't know who told you about 10 minutes. I was planning on 2.5 hours for this. I'm fascinated by the discussion. So
you don't want to listen to me talk for that long.
We do have a few questions, not only from our partners, but that Tony and I want to throw your way as well. But first, if you would, you mentioned Dennis Calderwood there. If you might just introduce him, because he'll probably want to chime in on a couple of these as well. Dennis, of course, he's the, I believe you're the channel business development director for China Telecom.
Yes, that's correct. Steve,
say hello to everybody.
Hey, good morning, everybody. And Steve only lets me speak for a little bit because if an avid New Yorker, born and raised, so I can go on and on. So, we probably won't have enough time, but hey, I can, I'm so excited about meeting all of you. And if there's anything that you need from us, I mean, if it's prospecting or it's carriers, or how do we build a relationship? Will you speak with our customers? Can we bring them on? Can you develop, our outsourcing abilities, our in country services within China? Or, we talk about China, but we're a global carrier. So I have a lot of opportunities that come to me, especially from all over. I mean, there's some questions in here about Australia and relationships and wholesale, and we provide all those services. We have so many carriers that we sell on the back end and partner with. So if it's not in China, and if it's in Dubai, if it's in Russia, I mean, I can go on and on and on. Some of the things that come my way, I love to tackle those, and I like to develop the relationships and see if we can, provide that service and win some business for you folks. So,
And it's a great way, as Steve mentioned in the presentation, for partners who are unfamiliar with how to do business in that area of the world to find out more about some of the rules, regulations, the procedures and processes, and receive help. Some of the services that you mentioned in the presentation had to do with offering managed services, remote hands, when it's necessary to take care of services that are going in that area. So, Steve, it's a tremendous portfolio of services. Steve, can you give us just an idea as to what sort of products and services you receive the most requests from partners for, be it in China or in other locations? What are some of the more popular offerings?
Well, the leading request is always going to be internet these days,
Sure.
internet access and some IP transit. Obviously, a lot of customers are migrating to maybe their own DIY type of SD-WAN service, where they're going out and getting the equipment and taking care of that themselves. We offer an SD-WAN as a service functionality, and that's particularly important for in terms of going international in and out of China because of the rules about encrypted services going through the international gateway. But yeah, that's certainly one of the biggest. We also do a lot of Ethernet private line. MPLS is also quite popular. And we are doing more and more cloud services for our customers as well, and Cloud Connect. One of the newer products we have is called Elastic Cloud Platform. And what we've done with that is we've set up a software-defined network fabric between basically over 50 different SaaS and cloud providers around the world to over 88 data center locations around the world. So getting an on-ramp into one of those centers, either by being there natively or connecting to it, allows that customer then to pick multiple different locations that they'll need to send or receive traffic from in terms of their cloud and SaaS providers. But they can move that bandwidth around as they need it, as functions develop for their business. So for example, that might come into play when they have monthly backups to do, or some change in a current situation in their customer base that they have to move traffic and change bandwidth allocations. So having that kind of a software-defined background in that environment allows that flexibility to get those changes done very quickly for the customer.
Excellent. Tony, I know you had a question or two you wanted to bring up here, and then I've got a few more.
Yeah, Dennis, you've already partially answered the question that Todd asked around relationships with carriers in Australia. When we've got our partners talking with their customers, one of the biggest things that they compete with is obviously carrier incumbency. And if China Telecom's got wholesale relationships in place with Telstra, then that end user may already be using the CN2 network. So what's the way that our partners can position competitive advantage of dealing directly with China Telecom over the likes of Telstra or Optus, rather than how do we partner with Telstra or Optus to get access to the CN2 network?
Yeah, well, certainly, obviously, in this multi-connected environment that we have, there's.
I asked Dennis, but anyway.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Dennis. Do you want to take that one?
No, go ahead. You already started.
Yeah. So we all know that in the wholesale environment, in a multi-connected, even in an internet peering environment, there's many ways to get to the same place. Now, the question is, what's the best way to do it? And if any customer is having a problem with some of their primary providers in Australia, then we can certainly be an option for them when they have international connectivity requirements. And we actually believe that we can do it better because of the fact that we do own the infrastructure associated to CN2, and we do own a lot of the solutions and provide some unique solutions for customers, like things like web optimization that we can do to be able to have customers be able to access certain SaaS providers or different web applications off in the internet more effectively and optimize that connectivity going in and out of China. So a lot of different solutions that we can bring as an alternative. Now, if it's going to be a primarily Australian domestic company, I don't think we would play there. We probably would just say thanks, but we're going to no bid this one. What we're looking for is really when it leaves Australia, that's when we want to be part of that, particularly if it's APAC or China.
Great answer. Thank you.
Thanks
Tony,
for the
any
answer.
others? Okay.
No, that was it from me.
All right. I wanted to add to that a little bit too. Steve, you talked about not only those, but so many times we run into concerns when dealing with international projects with any carrier, really, about how long is it really going to take to get something established in a foreign country where we may not have direct presence available, and how can I best have that project managed by someone who knows what's going on? In addition to just the network and other services that are offered, project management, as you hit it in the presentation, is also available there, and very, very aggressive installation intervals for these services as a result.
Yeah, it's very important. That's where everything can look good on paper from a pre-sales perspective.
Yeah.
But if it fails in the implementation, that is a big uphill climb to get back to a customer satisfaction. So we put a lot of emphasis on our project teams to try to make sure that they're aware that they are the key fulcrum to making sure that the customer is happy with our services. And again, between our local teams that we have for project management, plus the teams that we have over in Hong Kong and China, we leverage those resources quite effectively, and they're all involved with daily nighttime calls back and forth to try to make sure they're keeping things moving, that the next steps are being updated to the partner and the customer, and that we're delivering on time according to the customer expectations. Because I've been in the same position working at a customer environment for a multinational corporation. You're planning out your whole environment with associated other projects as well, and it's all relying on when is the network going to be there, and everything gets moved back if that isn't done on time. So we definitely respect that and keep the communication going. Now, there are going to be situations that come up, right, where there's an unavoidable delay. We will communicate that up front as quickly as we can and try to work intently to provide other options if possible at that point. So the real key is communicating and diligently working toward that goal of that implementation interval for the customer.
Can you give us an idea, just from a business perspective, how quickly are cloud options being adopted in the Asia Pacific market, specifically in regards to China, and what the trend is as far as migrations to whether public, private, or hybrid cloud infrastructures?
Yeah, there's definitely a strong migration to the cloud. Not only the CT cloud that we have within China, but other providers as well. And for the multinational corporations that are international outside of China, there's certainly an emphasis on the connectivity they can get to providers like AWS and Azure, or even Google Cloud outside China. So we put a lot of emphasis on the connectivity there and the solutions that we have. And we do have some very flexible ways that we can deliver services in a very robust and diverse environment to get the connectivity to those environments for the customer applications, and not rely solely on internet peering, over the top access. These are private, direct connect type of solutions that we can do for the customer.
For partners in Australia, New Zealand, who may have opportunities that would involve China Telecom Americas, will they be dealing primarily with folks via video conference, on the phone? Do you have individuals in Australia proper who can assist with opportunities? How does an interested partner proceed?
Yeah, I think since we're really the only partner program within the CT group of companies, I would say that leveraging our resources here in the Americas is the way to go, because we want to see that partner get paid. So channel team at ctamericas.com is a great way to start, and then we'll jump on calls, Zoom calls. We all have access to that, and we can engage. And for the timing doesn't work too bad. Like I said, a lot of our folks are very used to the idea of if they have to reach somebody during their business day and they're on the other side of the world, they're going to do that at night. They're very comfortable doing that. So I think we can engage very well, even if it's between different continents like this.
Well, and then, as you mentioned earlier too, just the understanding that they will have about the rules and regulations of being able to do business there, the various practices that are involved. You mentioned these are multilingual people who can easily communicate with partners and with their clients around the globe. Actually, does it have to be internationally based business at all? I mean, do potential clients have to have offices in various places, or if they just had a location, for example, in China or some other country, could they consider China Telecom Americas?
Yeah, so certainly we've done services in Africa. We've done services for companies in a lot of different locations around the world. Generally, though, there are multiple sites that we're dealing with, and they are multi-continent type of companies.
Sure.
But in a case, for example, an Australian company may have a manufacturing site in China and maybe just one, and they want to go directly Australia to China. We can certainly provide that solution as well.
Yeah, you really do run the entire gamut, the entire spectrum of services that are available, from voice to cloud to internet, as you mentioned, global bandwidth, global internet, and then the managed services really intrigue me because there is so much there that can be offered and done that I think people tend to shy away from if they're not familiar with doing business in many of those countries, including China. And then you mentioned 2 points of presence in Australia right now, Sydney and Perth, to be able to access that CN2 network. Can you talk at all about how the overall network is growing or expanding or keeping pace with changes in technology?
Yeah, I know that one of the emphasis is on growing the cloud network, and that interconnected range of sites in the cloud network, which would also include that elastic cloud platform that I mentioned as a software-defined network fabric for customers. That's been a major emphasis of ours because we feel that's the direction that the industry is going most rapidly. But we are continuing to build out across the world. For example, Panama was a recent investment where we put people and resources because we felt that was a location that had a lot of actual interaction with China, interestingly enough. So we're finding more and more places throughout the world that need that investment because of the demand that's there.
As international opportunities continue to expand, and so many of our partners who a few years ago didn't really think about addressing those opportunities are now finding themselves involved with them. Certainly, China Telecom Americas would be one of the resources that they would certainly want to have available to them and be familiar with. Steve, you make a really compelling case for all of this. Great presentation. Dennis, anything that you'd like to add just as we begin to conclude here about China Telecom and what partners should be considering at this point?
Yeah, so all the partners that are out there, if you want to know more about China Telecom, I mean, this was a brief kind of overview of China Telecom, but I can go into in depth with really all the services that we provide, where we provide it, where we win, where we sometimes don't win, right? I mean, no carrier is
Of course.
is out there to win all the business. I mean, we define where we do the business and where we do it best. So you'll learn that from us here at China Telecom. We're not going to tell you, oh yeah, we just want to take that opportunity and run with it. No, we want the customer to win. We want to make you look good. We want to get you paid. So anytime that anyone wants to reach out to me and learn more about it, I'll be happy, and I know the differences in the time because I know Australia really well. And I'll be happy to get on a call with you and give you more information about us in depth. And some of you actually have. So for those of you who haven't, then just ping me and I'll be happy to, help and support you.
Very good. Thank you. The contact information is in our chat, and certainly we'll make that available. And for anyone desiring to see this presentation again, we record these calls. Certainly we'll make that available so that you can take a look. I think the farther you get into it, you'll be very, very interested in the offerings that China Telecom Americas has to offer. Tony, last word to you. Any comments?
I was going to ask you to say in your best radio announcer voice for anybody wishing to do a deep dive with Dennis, please email opportunity@tradewindsbrokerage.com.au.
There you go.
Or anybody wishing to do a dig dog with Tony or with Dennis.
Sure.
Do what?
Sure. That's good.
But certainly,
put your name in now.
If you do have any questions with regard to China Telecom and how they can help you win business with Asian-based customers or with Australian-based customers that operate in Asia, then just email us at opportunity@tradewindsbrokerage.com.au, and Francis, Sam, and I will happily put you in touch directly with Dennis, or you can reach out to Dennis directly. But,
and if anybody's going to be in San Diego for the Partner Summit, which I doubt, but if you are, we'll be there.
Unfortunately not. We're in rolling lockdowns here. And
Unfortunately.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. So yeah. So
Yeah.
yep. So is Canada actually. Yep, they're in lockdown.
Where's Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, that was from my Canuck friend Brian O'Shab.
North America. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yep.
But no, we won't be in Partner Summit. But Dennis and Steve, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy afternoon to speak with the Australian and New Zealand partners. We really appreciate it.
And thank you very much, Doug and Tony. It was a great call,
Really
great
great
energy
to
here. Love hearing all the things that are going on down under. And Ali, thanks for managing the slides. Well done.
Hey, I've got one more.
One final question. One final question, Dennis and Steve. How's your Mandarin? Can you give us a couple of lines in your best Mandarin?
Yeah, so Rosetta Stone, I'm still working on it. There was an Amazon shipment delay, so I don't know right now.
I'm getting really good at ordering the
I'm
food.
not
in
buying
Chinese
it.
restaurants.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it.
I'm still working English. Yeah.
We did have a couple of questions that showed up in the Q&A window that honestly I didn't see. I was watching the chat, but one more that I wanted to bring up here. Todd Graham asked, how do you do business in the Philippines and in Indonesia?
Yeah. What was the question? I'm sorry.
Philippines and Indonesia. I don't have the map in front of me. Are you doing business there? Do you have the availability to do business there?
We absolutely can do business in both. Yeah, both geographical areas. Again, there's nothing that we can't do. We try to be as price competitive as we can. If it's something that seems to work for us at China Telecom and we're competitive, then absolutely we will deliver that service. And like I said, we're anywhere that you need to be. But again, how competitive are we going to be? So no carrier can service everywhere on the globe.
Sure.
But we do really well. We do well in the Philippines. We do well in Indonesia, and obviously, in South America too, which Steve didn't really mention. Panama with Steve, but yeah, the team down there. We have an office down there, and we do. We're doing substantial business in South America. So.
Well, it's great to get to know you guys better and to better understand where China Telecom is and how China Telecom Americas can help our partners as international opportunities continue to expand around the world. So thank you very much for the introduction, for being part of the Tradewinds Thursday call. We hope to have you back soon, and we'd love to see some opportunities come out of today's event. Thanks so much for the time, you guys. Steve Jacknow, Dennis Calderwood, we really appreciate it. And our time is gone for today, but we thank each of you as well for taking time to join us this afternoon. Our congratulations again to Sam Bayou and Samuel Grigg. Glad to feature you on the call today as well. We will be back here again next month. Our next call is set for August 19th. We hope you'll plan to join us. We'll have new information as well as a recap from the Partner Summit event going on and a lot of material to make available for you. Until then, I'm Doug Miller. From all of us here at Tradewinds, have a great selling month, everyone. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.